Hi, welcome to another edition of MTG Playback. It's where I, an actual pastor, my name is Mark, who plays Magic the Gathering, talks about Magic the Gathering. I play a game on Arena and then talk about my play, what I saw, what I could do better, what I could do differently. And so today I'm continuing to use my blue-white Angel deck. I made a few modifications. A big one is that I'm leaning into trying to get creatures out on the board faster and rather kind of dialing down the control aspect of spell pierces and other kinds of spells to counter their spells. So I've added up more Fading Hope. I pulled back a couple of things, as well as I try to bring creatures on the board and see if I can overwhelm my opponent that way. So let's watch and see what happens. Here we go. Yep, there's the Fading Hope. And my friends, as well as a Fairy Mastermind. And my whole goal is to really get three components working on my deck. One to focus on my graveyard with Sierra Paragon, one to focus on the top of the library with my Errata and Giada, and then the Giada itself to then pump up Angels and bring them out on the board as fast as possible. So those are kind of my three main components, and then go over the top and hit the opponent with damage. So let's see if I can do that this turn. Here we go. Unemotional versus me. Seems very appropriate. So this is an almost perfect starting hand, right? I've got 3 lands, I've got a 2-drop, I've got a 1-drop. This looks great. All I need right now is a Giada. I also want to apologize, you can't see my opponent's hand, how many cards are in there. I'm working on that, getting the recording better. Alright, so my first draw is the Giada, which I'm so excited about. That's exactly what I want. They put down a Secluded Courtyard and Phyrexian, which I think means they don't have any immediate removal. So I might be able to get this out, maybe get a creature out pretty quickly. So the first thing they do is they cast Dreams of Steel and Oil to look at my hand, and then they look at my hand. And then they can decide a creature to remove, something to kick out, to exile it. So they chose my Sierra Paragon, which is a component of my deck design, but it's not the primary one. So I think they made a mistake. They should have gone after my Errata and Gata to get the stuff off the top of my hand. Alright, so I immediately went to combat, and then I decided to then, afterwards, use Giada to then bring another creature onto the board, because they don't have anything on their plate, and I was pretty sure they didn't have anything with haste. So all of a sudden, I've got a 3/4 flyer onto the battlefield, and I've got, sadly, another land on top of my library. So that's 1 creature and 1 land in my first 2 draws. Alright, so they're going to cut down, try to remove my Gata. I'm going to flash it back to my hand right now. I decided to keep that plains on top because, having 4 land is better than having only 3. And some of my creatures do need 2 plains. So I do have that land, great, but then I look behind, there's another land. So that's annoying. But I'll do what I can. And so I'm kind of deciding what to do here. I decide not to play... I think, yeah, this is the move I do, right? Correct. So I decided not to play Giada right away. The idea being that I know I have another land camping, so I know that next time I can get 2 angels on the board during the same phase. And then I can pump one of them up. So I decided that that makes more sense. They bust out Elesh Norn. The Elesh Norn from Mother Machines. This is not great. This is the Elesh Norn that you could flip and then kind of really turn the game over against me. And because they have the Grafted Butcher there, which gives other Phyrexians +1/+1, that means this Elesh Norn is a 4/6, which is pretty powerful. So I could flash that in there and kill their Grafted. However, I noticed that when you flip over Elesh Norn, it's an enchantment, so my Catholic Commando could flash it and kill it pretty quickly. So I'm going to hold that off. Take this damage. Alright, I pull a land, great. I'm going to cast it. And now I have options. I can either get the Inspiring Overseer, or I can get the Metropolitan Reformer off the top. Since they already went through my hand once, I felt like, it makes more sense to get the Metropolitan Reformer out there, make sure it's pumped up, because it's going to be a 5, because I have 2 Angels out there, and also give me Hexproof. Now, when I do damage to them, Elesh Norn does damage to me unless I pay 1 in mana. I'm okay with that right now. Alright, go for the throw, kicks my Giada. I have nothing to stop it. That's sort of annoying, but at least I have my 2 pumped up Angels already. They're tapped out. Again, they have some big creatures, but I'm feeling okay at this point. Another land, and then if you know, top of my land, another land. That's way too many land. I need to find something to scry through my land better. It's just not working too. Alright, so we'll put that out there. I'll get a gain of life, I'll bring that land, and look what's on top of my library again. Another land. This is annoying. So again, just checking out Elesh Norn again. Trying to figure out what to do, thinking about what to do. I decide to send everything. I've got 17 life, they've got 9. They don't have lethal on the board. I don't think they can pump it up super much. And I can also pay 1 and make sure I'm only going to be down to 15. So I'm feeling pretty good. They're down to 2. And unless they get a board wipe or something, this is it. And that's it. So they weren't able to flip over Elesh, they weren't able to do what they wanted to do, and I was able to do exactly what I wanted to do. So that's great. That went really, really well. I thought I played that really well. I was happy with how I kind of was conservative with my Giada, protected it a little bit, and then was able to try to go over the top. So thank you for watching. Please leave a comment if you would like to. Just tell me, what did you notice? What did you see? What could I have done better? And then like and subscribe, and I will see you next time for another episode of MTG Playback.